Good morning, everybody. What's going on? What's going on in the hood? So I tossed CCL, OSTK, and NVIDIA. Find a couple other ones that you like. I toss all of those. Morning, guys. What's going on? Hey, market's going and having the market is having itself a nice. I guess what's the proper terminology here? But the market is having itself a nice little gap up here, 0.7%. The market is just in a heater right now. And any kind of dips on this. Jason, remember we were looking for that 9 EMA pull to get in on a swing of the futures? I totally forgot. We got a gap up. We're going into all-time highs on the QQQs. If you look at the CompX, I believe you're already at, the all-time highs, give or take. So it is, the market looks good right now. There's no getting around it. You got the SPY breaking out. The Dow Jones is in a flag pattern. So right now we're just basically in this kind of, I would say like all systems, right? All systems is a go kind of thing here where you're going to be able to, you're going to be able to shred a little bit here. You're going to definitely be able to shred a little bit here. There's a lot of good stuff that's happening in the market. And frankly, you even get to see here with all these kind of momentum names pushing. Today should be a good day. So let's talk about just kind of the overall list. First, let's go into the earnings plays, if there are anything that's good, and then we'll kind of loop back through and see like what else, is kind of cooking and booking here. All right, BB, is that BlackBerry? Or is that BlackBerry BBY? BB, BlackBerry. I bet Jason got one of those. All the computer dorks get them. Woo! All right. I didn't see any news on it per se. You know what? Frankly, this is a pretty big breakout. Now, BlackBerry's a little bit of a thicker float stock, 500 million shares. So I definitely wouldn't chase this thing up. But, these kind of thick little guys, you got to almost hit them on pullbacks. I'd add it. It's not a huge priority. But one thing that's happened with, kind of all the Robin Hooders and stuff, hitting the market, if there's a stock that's cheap, even if it's thick, and it starts to bust loose, these little guys, they like to pile into these things. So you're seeing an influx of kind of it could be like Sirius satellite radio, and it'd be like the thickest stock in the world, but they can start to move. I'd add that, frankly. Cass had a big push end of day. Woo! Right? It went from 6 to 12, gapping up. If you like low floaters, this is only 100, 200, well, at this point, it's probably $300, $400 million market cap. The market cap on this is going to be pretty low. I see the float's only about 22. Float's only about 22 million shares. Yeah, why not? If you like small caps, not my particular thing. Now, this mRNA is top of the list, I think, for us to take this thing down. In general, man, we're going to have to do it. We are going to have to do it. We got no choice on this one. This is 1, 2, 3 straight gaps. In general, if you have 3 straight gaps, you are going to have yourself, you can have that's a high probability short. It's not an easy one. You can't just go and blindly and take this thing down. But frankly, this thing, you got a chance on this. I would roll with this. I'd roll with this and try to, we got to hit this on exhaustion gap. So essentially what you want to do, you're gapping up 19 points, right? So what we want to be doing on a short-term basis at the open, right? wait and look intraday for the rug pull, right? Wait and look intraday for the rug pull. And at some point, like what usually happens, what's been happening on a lot of these like kind of rubber band names is like they'll like, you know, because they get so extended, like somebody will come in and like give it a downgrade, or, you know, like Citron will come in and say this thing's overbought or something like that. There'll be like some type of, somebody will let the air out of this thing and you get this like kind of nice pullback on it. Man, we missed this APPN yesterday. We spent all Sunday huddle talking about this thing, but it's a similar setup, right? Where you get like so extended, and then this is kind of what you're looking for. If you see here, like, you know, you popped up and it was green for like maybe $1, and then the rug got pulled and went green to red. I mean, that's kind of an account builder trade. You do this couple hundred shares, you can have yourself a good month, and then you can keep hammering them right over and over. And that's what happens like when the wind is taken out of a stock that's really, really extended. You can keep hitting it. So now this one is a little bit thinner than mRNA. mRNA is a thick little noodle, but as it pushes up, that's what we're setting up for, right? That kind of APPN push down, where all of a sudden, you know, you're going to be able to hit this thing over and over. So just something to kind of keep mind of. We won't take the short unless we surefire, you know, see the look. One thing to also be mindful of is that, frankly, when the stocks start doing too much volume, they get really tricky. They get real tricky, and you gotta, you know, you'll have to really time it well, because they do so much volume. They start to just algos come in and out on it, and you can get shaken out easy. So trade it small, lever into it if you see it, and then we'll be good to go. Look, some of these EV companies are popping. LI and XPEV. XPEV looks a little bit cleaner. It looks like XPEV posts 342 increase in electric vehicles. Now, said it delivered 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 cars. There's like 6 billion people in China. These guys can only rip out like 2,000 cars. Sounds good to me. Looks like a buy. You got a nice, easy pullback right into the 9 EMA, breaking over that trend line. I think this one's got a chance. Now, it gapped up pretty big. It's already fading off some of its gap. What we'll need to see is like some type of... he made some... It's going to just need to hold somewhere. Hopefully it pulls back to the 9 and we get a little dipsy-doo dunkaroo on it. What I mean by dipsy-doo dunkaroo is like you get that gap up, like it starts to hold at some support, and then, right, you start, you know, you take this thing back the other way. Actually, XPEV works really well on ORBs too. LI, I don't think this looks as clean, so I'd rather focus on XPEV, but they both look pretty darn good. Dun 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 dun, AYRO, junk, 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 junk. Junk, 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 junk. Let's look on the downside. Looks like Zoom's getting taught a little bit of a lesson here on their earnings. But frankly, when the stock is up like 1,000%, if it gaps down like 7% earnings, it's not really the end of the world. Let's take a look at Zoom here. Check this out. So yeah, it's giving back 2 days worth of gains, right? So like a stock can get smoked out on earnings, but you always want to like take it in context of really what's been happening on it. You know, the stock was at 370, ran to $500. Now giving back like 30 points on earnings, is that like a huge deal? Probably not. There's going to be a trade on this, and it may even happen like right off at the open. It may even happen right off at the open. So like what we want to really be doing on this is, you know, looking for... Zoom is like notorious for doing a little bit of a shakeout at the open. It's, you know, you see like a little pattern, and then boom, you get like a $6 pop on it, and then it fizzles out. If it dumps some or 440 at the open, I think we may have to try. Let it ORB around there, and then no support really to 436, but frankly, that support may not even matter as much. You got a trend line break here too. Now, Shreyas, if I didn't see your list, never seem to post it. Don't trade this right at the open. This stock is not for you. Not for you, buddy. I know you're going to have this on your list and stare at it all day. This stock is not for you. Dun-dun. Add that to the list. I'm going to catch a shred on it. There's no getting around that. We're going to catch a little shred on it. So we got BB, Zoo, QS dropping down 43. Now look, this thing is so long in the tooth. Holy shit. We can't really do anything on this. If anything, I mean, this is probably a short on pops till it really tightens up. So I would probably leave that one alone. CVAC, nothing, go lucky. Junk. All right, let's talk about the regular watch list now. All right. Yeah, pot stocks are going. Pot stocks stink to trade. If you're going to trade one, we were trading this ACB yesterday. Pot stocks are the worst stocks to trade. If you're going to trade one, probably the ACB moves the best. Some people really like this, SNDL, but I think this one's getting too extended. It's too extended for me. If you're going to trade one, probably ACB is like the best one. CGC moves the worst right now. I don't know why. They used to move the best, but TLRY still probably has a little catch up, but they stink. I mean, they stink, right? I mean, you just don't, they just stink to trade. You can hit them on big dips intraday, but they just don't break out right. Now let's talk about the regular stock list. Let's go in kind of order of importance, order of favor. So obviously we know we want to short mRNA. We want to be long. We want to be long XPEV if we see the setup. What else can we trade? So there's a couple really good bounce candidates that I like. This FUTU actually looks like a swing trade to me. Swing trade's a multi-day hold versus a day trade, which is a single day hold. But you can see here, you got this was $28, ran to 51, so up 100%. Came back and retraced that breakout spot. So when you have like an old breakout spot, so when you push it over and then you pull back and you hold, right, that's confirmation that support is there. So it's called the breakout pullback play, which is really one of the most simple and time-tested kind of swing trading setups, but you can day trade them too. Now the volume on this, the liquidity on this, okay. Couple things is look on the pullback. If you see here, when the volume is lighter than the days that it pushes up, that's very bullish. That's telling you that the stock itself is under accumulation, right? So there's accumulation and distribution. Distribution is when sellers are taking hold of the stock and are in control, and accumulation is when buyers are in control. So you can see here, you had a big volume pop yesterday. Nice light red days before that. I think that this one is a potential. I'm eyeballing this one for add into my IRAs too. They smoked it on earnings. Wealth management firm. They made 946 million rupees, up from 254 the million before. Blah blah blah. I mean, they're smoking it. I don't know what HK means, but I'm guessing it's a good one. So this thing is smoking on earnings. The pattern is good. So I've been looking at this one in my IRA also, but I think we can day trade this one. That one looks good. I didn't even want to put JMA on my list. I don't want to get T Blizzy all excited because then he's gonna sit there and stare at it every 10 cents. This is good, this is bad. But this thing is looking hot. You got $10 move, run into 40. Comes back in to the 30 spot. You're starting to hold over the 9. So if you could see here, like you got a nice base that's been forming yesterday. If it can hold there, then I'm willing to come in on the shred. I'm willing to come in on the shred on this. if it can hold. And watch this 34 mark. It got rejected by it a couple times yesterday. You got 1 test, 2 tests, 3 tests. You know, yesterday right at that 34. Yeah, I think this one's got a chance. Watch 34, all right? Watch 34. That's the spot. You know, if we start to get a little ORB around that area, we're going to come in. We're going to shred that thing like gentlemen. Let's watch AMD for a day 2 play. I think you're going to have, you got room up to like maybe 94, 95 before you really run into any resistance. It's starting to pick up steam. I would only hit AMD on dips though, as it starts to kind of break out. This kind of stuff. You want to see this thing like when you get a big spike, if it comes back and retraces most of its gain, then come back in for the shred. When you're getting like a little bit into the breakout, but you're a little bit, I wouldn't say long in the tooth because yesterday was the first day of the breakout, but you're getting into some weird levels, you want to come in and hit those things, you know, more on a dip than anything else. You don't want to chase that bad boy up, even though chasing is fun and it's a lifestyle. You don't want to chase this one up. It's a thick little noodle, you know, and so on and so forth. The rest of this stuff, I got a bunch of other stuff that we can watch, but I don't know if we really need it. We got more than enough heaters to keep going. So that's what's going to be. That's what we got to do, and that's what's going to be. Yes, you know what? If you do need a pot, this SAMA was a SPAC, but also it looks possibly like they're doing some, it's a SPAC slash maybe pot. Schultz, special purpose acquisition, and Hempen medical cannabis producer. They're signing agreement, blah, blah, blah. So SPACs are hot, which we know. And then pot is kind of hot too. I mean, does anybody even really smoke pot anymore? I've never seen anybody smoke pot in years. But somehow, white people, they love smoking pot. White people love smoking pot. It's like a big thing for them. They talk about it. They love it. They want to talk about it. Then they think it's like a medicine and blah, blah, blah. I haven't smoked pot since 1994. I don't even know what it feels like. But I can imagine. White people love pot so much. They love talking about it. Now, not like the cool white people, right? Like not the rowdy ones. You know, the rowdy ones, I mean, they're, you know, they got chicks. The best white guys, they get all the hot chicks. So, you know, if you're getting hot chicks, you're not smoking any weeds, right? You're probably doing some other stuff. Potheads never get any chicks. But boy, they're pretty cool, man, because they're very relaxed. I never even seen anybody do it. Pavan, what? Does your mom know about that? I've never seen Indian people smoke the weeds. Yo, these companies like Solo and stuff, I think they're gonna need like, it can be on watch, but it's I feel like it's topped out. So like you may have some small bounces on them, but I feel like they've topped out. Like the charts look okay, but like when you get like that kind of like big parabolic push, you really need like a little bit you really need like a little bit of consolidation. I think the blink looks better than Solo. Yeah, I think the blink looks better than Solo. Apps is still a good looking stock. All right, that's the list. I'm sticking to it. You can't break me on it. Let this work. You can't break me on it. You could do Peloton, red to green, also. Sure. I'm semi down with that. All right, that's the list. I'm sticking to it. Giga, then we got a nice list. Why are you trying to add more stuff? MSTR does look like a short, but it is a thin little bastard. Only 1.6 million shares. 1.6 million shares on a 1.6 million shares on $300 stock means no liquidity. You know what I mean? Yo, this Yalla is like the Arabic Facebook. That could actually be hot. It is, yeah, it's like the Lebanese Facebook or something. That thing could be hot. I would roll with that. Yeah, I would roll. I'm down with that one. Good. Yeah, there's a million stocks that are running around. You got to be real careful on them. Shit. I mean, you can't only let your watch list get so big, though. So just chill out. Just chill out. Yeah, I got to clean. I got a million stocks I'm watching, and it's taking up a lot of work. Cool. All right, that's the list. I'm sticking to it. Top play for today. We got to find a spot on this mRNA. Peace.